What is going on, gamers? Aevatrex here, and today we're going to be talking about some things that I would like to be added or at least changed in Castle Clash. And I know what you're thinking. The title said Castle Clash. He's talking about Castle Clash, but this is definitely not Castle Clash. But don't worry, we're gonna get to that in a moment. But essentially, this is another game that is made by IGG. This is a game called Lords Mobile. I've actually had a few videos on my channel regarding this game, but really, I'm gonna be talking about some things that are implemented on this game that I could see being implemented on Castle Clash, and I just don't see a reason as to why it wouldn't be. Now, one of the main and the first things that I'm going to talk about is an actual world chat. Let's be honest here. Castle Clash, as far as the social aspect, it's not a very big social game. We pretty much made it a social game by everybody using line chat, being in line chat groups, guild groups, etc. But Castle Clash itself isn't a very social game, where on this one, let me go ahead and show you this chat that's up here. Okay, now we have a global chat, which is basically everybody in the kingdom is able to speak, but not only that, everybody's able to speak, and there is a feature which translates depending on the language that they're talking. So for instance, this one right here by David, this is not English, so when you hit this button right here, it translates it to Spanish, and it says it translated from Spanish. Now, is it going to be a perfect translation? Absolutely not. But if it gives me at least an idea of what they want, what they're looking for, or what they're even talking about, it's good enough for me. Now, I know that Castle Clash back in the day, probably most of you weren't even around when there was an actual chat, and they took it away just because, trolls. But I think that if they use a decent filter, that we can have a global chat in Castle Clash again, and it'll be more of a social game. And I think that's something that's really been missing from Castle Clash, that social aspect, because we rely on line chat way too much, just way too much. And then of course the guild chat we already have, but take a look at this one. This one, no matter if you've been logged in or if you haven't been on, you're actually able to scroll back hours and hours. And look, you can even load even more messages. So it's a chat that doesn't go away just because you weren't offline for that conversation. And you're able to keep up with more of what's going on in the guild outside of line chat. Another thing that I want to point out here is a specific building. And this is a building that it is right here. It's like a gem harvesting building. Okay, this is called the treasure trove. So essentially what this building does is that you deposit gems. You have a 7-day deposit, 14-day deposit, or 30-day deposit. If you got a 7-day deposit, you have certain limits that you can deposit, etc. But for me, for instance, I went ahead and did the 30-day deposit. That was 30 days ago, and it is finally time for me to collect. Now take a look at this. My building was level 1 when I did this a month ago. Okay, the gems I invested was 10,500 gems, and now my payout is going to be 19,530. So basically in a month's time I was able to invest my gems and double them. Why isn't something like this in Castle Clash? I just don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. I think this is something that free-to-play players can look forward to. They can collect their gems, and once they have enough, they can go ahead and deposit it and actually invest their gems. Once the 30 days are up, they can take their gems back, they can invest again, and then use whatever leftover gems they have to roll some heroes, roll some talents. At least it keeps people looking forward to things, except, collecting daily gems. So let's go ahead and actually collect it, because since my building was level 1 when I first did this, and now it is level 6, theoretically we're going to be able to collect the gems and invest back and have a better payout. So again, I invested 10,500 gems, and now my payout is going to be 19,530. So let's go ahead and collect it. There it is. There goes my gems up there. And since I am just a very big investor, we're going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to go into the 30-day deposit, and it's showing me here that my maximum that I can deposit now is 14,000. So it went up from 10,500 to 14,000 because I leveled up the building. So let's go ahead and deposit the maximum, which is going to be 14,000 gems. And now it is telling me that my payout after 30 days will be 26,600 gems. So let's go ahead and deposit, and there it is. It's going to take my gems, and then the timer starts for 30 days. But keep this in mind. Just because you deposited the gems doesn't mean that they're gone for 30 days. If something was to happen where you absolutely need those gems in an emergency or whatnot, and you don't care that you're going to lose the time that has been counting down, you can actually cancel. You can cancel, you get your gems back, there's no penalty, nothing. The only penalty is that you're basically, you wasted the time that you were investing. So if you've invested for 2 weeks and you need those gems and you take it out, you basically lost those 2 weeks. But let's go ahead and deposit that. And then one other thing that I was going to point out to you guys is the mail system. Now most of you already know that Castle Clash does have a mail system, but the problem is that the mail system is just to receive rewards from like events and whatnot. It's not something that we can actually use to communicate. So for instance, here we have a system that I can send a mail to somebody or the whole guild, and they're going to receive it. Once you log in, you're going to see that you have mail. You can click it and then you read it. In Castle Clash right now, for guild leaders, you have nothing to just send to your guild like, hey, let's do this, or we're going to be changing this. And this is another reason why a lot of people use line chat. So really, line chat has been used a lot to kind of just mask the defaults that Castle Clash has, to make up for a lot of the problems and a lot of the features that aren't implemented in Castle Clash. And I think that IGG has shown in this game that they have the means to do it. They can make a mailing system, they can make decent chats, they even have translators for this. So why can they not do it for Castle Clash? I mean, think about it. A global chat for Castle Clash, that would be absolutely amazing, especially if you're looking to make specific teams or whatnot. I just don't see why not. And then this gem harvesting thing, I mean, tell me guys, would you guys love something like this? It could be a building with like no HP, kind of like the warehouse and whatnot. You know, we already have enough buildings. What's another one going to do? And the treasure trove just sounds like something that would keep people going and might turn into something that's really like a very positive thing in the game. So I want to know what you guys think about these ideas. Again, I know that the visuals wasn't actually Castle Clash, but these are the Castle Clash ideas and things that I would actually see implemented from another IGG game, because they've clearly shown that they can do it, so why not? But yeah, I'll be looking at the comment section and see what you guys think. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and until later, bye.